Alright, let's react to Goatis. Why not?
There's apples in nature, but they are very small, bitter and sour. They are inedible. These sugar balls that we call apples nowadays, if you eat those every day, then again, you're just going to get closer to diabetes, heart disease, and so on, because...
False, it's the exact opposite. The data shows they decrease diabetes rates, they decrease heart disease rates. Even dates, which have an even higher percentage of sugar, they still increase insulin sensitivity and decrease heart disease rates. So it's the complete opposite of what it's claiming.
It's sugar with almost no micronutrients and just a bunch of fiber to constipate you. For some crunches of...
False, fiber does not constipate you. Fiber is actually the solution to constipation, but you have to make sure that you drink enough water. On average, for most people, fiber is actually the solution to constipation, and that's what the studies say as well.
Fiber, yes, because you need fiber, because you need something indigestible in your body.
The bacteria in your colon digest fiber, they ferment the fiber and they convert it into short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, propionate, and acetate, and they're actually anti-inflammatory. So fiber decreases inflammation, and it is digested by the bacteria in your colon. All of these short-chain fatty acids, especially butyrate, they're anti-inflammatory, they reduce systemic inflammation, and it is digested. So just because it's not digested in your stomach, that doesn't mean that it's not digested in your body overall.
The apples of today are so unnatural.
Doesn't matter.
Sometimes they sit for a year or two before you even consume them. They've been cultivated to the point where they are unrecognizable. I never eat apples, but that's also because I never liked them anyway. An apple today only has some sugar, really. There's
False.
really not any micronutrients, just trace amounts. That's like saying a candy a day keeps the doctor away. The apples of today are completely artificial. It's like giving him candy. They only have sugar, not even really any minerals to speak of.
False. You can go on Chronometer and check the micronutrients. It has a pretty high density of micronutrients. And you have to take into account the water content as well. So again, so far everything it says is wrong, but I'm not surprised.
Apples basically only have sugar nowadays. They are so fake. Apples nowadays have been completely cultivated. They're also pretty strongly sprayed.
It has pesticides like all fruits, but the benefits vastly outweigh the negatives. So if the negatives are like this, the benefits are like this. So it doesn't really matter. Otherwise, it's going to be eaten by bugs and we're not going to have the fruit anyway. So again, it's kind of a necessary evil, if you will, but the benefits still vastly outweigh the negatives. That's why we see positive health outcomes in the studies.
The apples are pure sugar. They have no nutritional
False. That's pretty easy to fact check. Just go on Chronometer.
value, except for the sugar, which is a macronutrient. There's pretty much no micronutrients. Some minerals, potassium.
Dude, the misinformation is insane. I fact check everything I say multiple times before I upload it. This guy just says whatever he thinks in the moment and uses intuition, which is, yeah, you guys know how I feel about that. I think truth is often counterintuitive and way more often than we realize.
And the cashew butter she eats because she craves animal fat. That's very simple. As a teenager, she can still convert the sugar to fat. Most people in their 20s, 30s as vegans can't do that anymore because they get closer and closer to fatty liver disease, diabetes, and all of that stuff. Bananas, which only have fiber and sugar, that's a pretty bad start for the day.
Just a regular banana.
It's not a regular banana, it's man-made, okay? Regular natural bananas are full of seeds and they're...
Yeah, that's true, but I don't see how that matters if the health outcomes are still positive. If the data show that ancient bananas were healthy and modern ones were not, then I would agree with them, but that's not what the data says.
There's hardly any fruit flesh. But you grow up as a cultivated slave and you have no idea what I'm talking about, right? What? I see that she has bananas there. Bananas supposedly have enzymes which help you to digest meat. Not that you naturally need help to digest meat, obviously. As an animal who is supposed to be eating meat, maybe it helps with the cooked meat. I don't know about... Some tribes eat fruits together with meat because supposedly it helps them. But then again, you don't have any problems from eating meat anyway. I don't know what exactly they mean by that. Maybe they just noticed something. As long as you don't have any digestive issues, it's fine. I don't eat bananas myself, firstly because they are so unnatural.
Who cares? You can't even show me one study proving that bananas are not healthy for humans. And whenever these people cite studies, either one, the studies disagree with what they say in the first place, or two, they're citing rat studies, and we are humans, in case you haven't noticed. Or three, they are citing associative studies, even though they criticize those types of studies all the time.
Cultivated to the absolute extreme. Secondly, because they don't really have a lot of nutrients, even mineral-wise, just because of the ground that they are grown in those trees nowadays, obviously not naturally. And also because of the fiber, it's not good for me. I can take any fruits except for bananas. Yeah, that's the only fruit I can think of which is just too hard on your gut.
Dude, it's the exact opposite. It's one of the easiest foods to digest because it has a ton of soluble fiber. You can tell by the structure.
Firstly, you've got tons of bananas, which is basically pure sugar and fiber.
False.
Potassium, some minerals, electrolytes, okay, but essentially there's no micronutrients, vitamins, right?
False, again.
Then of course we've got the green powder, which we can look up and see what's...
Yeah, I'm not a fan of green powders, so I'm probably gonna agree with him here.
In there. Okay, here I found it. At the top it actually says an excellent source of fiber. Let's see the ingredients. Whole leaves, wheatgrass, barley grass. Great, you're eating grass. Very herbivorous.
The problem with green powders is that even if they have healthy ingredients, the quantities are just too small. Like even a small salad is going to be superior when it comes to the intake of greens and the intake of healthy vegetables. It's just not worth it. It's just overpriced and very small doses of usually healthy ingredients. But the problem is not that the ingredients are not healthy, although sometimes it has spirulina and stuff like that, which are questionable, but overall the problem is the quantities are too low. You're going to be better off just eating a salad, for example.
Pure juices, alfalfa leaf, dandelion leaf, barley grass, saltgrass. They know that no human would ever eat this, so they sell it super expensive as a supplement so that you fall for it. So that it actually seems like, yes, this is something I want to get, right? Because what do they say? These grasses have incredible nutrient profiles due to the unique, nutrient-dense soil.
Because it's a powder and it doesn't have, the water content is stripped out because it's dehydrated. And so the nutrient density is going to be very high because it doesn't have any water, but nutrient density is not all that matters because the quantity that you can intake of these things is very low. It's kind of like shilajit as well. It's a supplement with a really high micronutrient density, but because you can only intake a very small amount, you only get a small amount of nutrients. So it doesn't matter. It's overpriced. It's the same thing here.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's incredibly common for these companies to say nutrient dense and so on, and to never mention any nutrients because they know that that's not true, obviously.
Actually, eggs have a similar problem. They are nutrient dense and they do have a lot of nutrients, but if you only eat one egg, you're barely going to get any nutrients. To get a lot of nutrients from eggs, you need to consume a lot of eggs, which is going to be a net negative for your lipid profile, so it's just not worth it overall. Just because something has a high nutrient density, it doesn't mean you should consume it, if that makes sense. I know it's a bit counterintuitive, but it is what it is. I guess that's pretty much it. I will do more like this if you like this one. I can react to Goatis or someone else if you guys want more diet content. And yeah, thanks for watching.